Yeah, it's always nice to hear stuff like that, which I think when you play as well, you don't really take it in. I mean, you always knock to say next week, and it's only when you probably finish, you sit back and think, you know what, it was a good run, you know what, I really enjoyed it and stuff, and it's nice to win some bits as well. So, no, it's nice when you hear those kind of, recollections of it.
Do you associate with that person? Because often I'm like, oh wow, I did do that. It's sort of in the past.
You know what, that's really interesting. I've suddenly, all of a sudden, I feel like that. I feel like it was a different life almost, and you always kind of see yourself in the abstract doing that. And like you said, I see shirts, and when I played, I was bigger as well, and you're training more.
You were
and more
bigger than you are now.
I was, yeah. But that's the thing. I see a lot of players, and I feel small next to them.
Really?
And even, and I think also you're just not used to being knocked around, because you're always wrestling, you're always doing weights, you're training and tackling, all that kind of stuff. Now, if someone knocks into me, I feel a bit like a peach. I feel like sore and achy, and I feel frail. Honestly, I feel a little bit frail. Yeah.
So there's a softer side to Chris Robshaw.
Well, exactly. When you're not doing kind of 7 sessions a week and stuff like that, it does feel like I've got such fond memories of England and Harlequins and a bit of my time in America as well. I'm so proud of it. And now I go back, and almost a lot of my friends have moved on. There's a couple still there, but the age bracket has moved on a little bit. So I can kind of go there and separate myself a little and enjoy it as a fan.
Yeah.
Which is really nice. And my son's getting a bit older, so I look forward to taking him there one day. He started his first rugby session last week. He's a 2 1/4, so that was quite an emotional and proud moment for me.
That is very young, no?
It's
most children are starting to walk at that age, and he's already running around a rugby pitch.
I mean, they don't know what they're doing. They're picking the ball up and throwing it at a cone and stuff like that.
Toddling.
But, yeah, exactly. Rugby tots, yeah. So, you know what, he enjoyed it though. And I think with that, I didn't want to be one of those parents who said, you know what, I played rugby, he must play rugby and do that. I would like him to be sporty though, because I'm very sporty, and I'd like to have that kind of bond with him. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Now, last time we caught up, we were at the Cartier lunch at Goodwood Festival of Speed. I've found sport has taken me to some incredible places, and through it, I've met some amazing people. You've recently retired. How are you finding life post-career? Because it's a little different.
Yeah, it is. It's a really interesting one, because I've probably retired now 14, 16 months ago or so. And the first 6 months, I was, like you said, you get invited to a lot of things, and you enjoy it, because when you're playing, you don't really enjoy it. You go to things, but you're kind of in and out because you have training next day, or something's coming up, or there's a big game, or whatever it be. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to put my feet up and I'm going to properly enjoy it. So I've had the opportunity. I've been over to the Masters in America and stuff like that. I've done some really, really amazing stuff I've always wanted to do. But for the first 6 months, I was eating and drinking a little bit too much, and I was enjoying it. And I looked at myself around Christmas time, and I thought, you know what, this isn't good for me. I became a real skinny fat man. And I was like, you know what?
Skinny fat?
Yeah, skinny fat, yeah. And I was like, you know what, I need to knock this on the head. So I signed up to the London Marathon. So
signed up to the London Marathon at Christmas, did it in the Aprils?
Yeah, so we did it then. And you know what, I always say the marathon is an amazingly horrible thing at the same time. I wanted to do sub 4 hours, and I trained hard for it, and I did 3:51, which I was really pleased with. I achieved my target, but it was so hard. Honestly, I remember the first 4 miles, I was taking selfies, I was high-fiving kids on the way round, getting sweets off them. I was thinking, look at me, I can't believe it. I'm running a marathon. This is amazing. And then you know what, I thought, I've got another 22 miles to run. And then
this is very, very early on.
This was early, yeah. and then my bum bag broke, so that annoyed me. Then my hamstring started to hurt. And also, I did the thing, everyone says don't go off too quick. But then because there were paces, so there was a 3:30 pace come by, and I wanted to be obviously sub 4. And I was running with a 3:30, and I was like, I feel all right. I feel pretty good. I hadn't run a 3:30 pace my whole training. So I don't know why I did it. That hit me. And then I was hanging on. I saw a lot of my family, as you kind of do as you go around, they just said, you know what, you really look like you weren't enjoying it. Because I saw them at like 20 miles. And they said you looked in so much pain. In my head, I was thinking, and maybe this is the athlete in us, I was thinking, you know what, if I do my sub 4, I never have to do this again. So I can be in pain now for the next 2 hours, but if I don't, I've got to do another 3-4 months of training. So I thought, you know what, just keep pushing on, get there. And I did it, and it was amazing. But when you finish, I was actually quite emotional.
Really?
I don't know if you know, you speak to me, I was quite emotional. And
What do you think it is that brought out that emotion?
I don't know, because you have to train hard. Like, you have to train for it. And it's really, really got it. But then you get to the end. And I think when you run in the marathon as well, there are so many people around, and it's brilliant. And you almost get to the end, and there's not many people at the end.
There's no one.
There's
It's
no one
just
there.
you on your own.
And my phone had broke. Yeah, so you finish and you're just on your own. And then my phone had broke as well. And I was so tired. There were these, so again, I sat down for ages, chilled out, and then my phone got work. I went to meet my family with a burger and a beer or something like that. And it was a surreal thing. And then I kind of got home and was like, oh, I'm kind of done. What next? What's my next challenge?
Is that it? Box ticked, done, complete, or do you see yourself signing up to another one?
No, I'm never doing it again.
I said that in 2019. I crossed the finish line with my mum. I did it with my mum. And I'm doing New York in 2 months' time.
Really?
Yeah. I reckon it's the athlete within, you know, like just little challenges, little goals to work towards. Is there anything else similar to that
I need something. I do need something. Again, it's more also to get you training properly, because if not, I don't have purpose in my training. And then I aren't diligent with it and all that kind of stuff. I'd probably miss your session if you're feeling tired or it's dark or you know what it is.
Do you find that you need purpose now to have the motivation to train?
Yes, definitely. I almost think that's the harder thing, because when you're, and for us in rugby, we were training in groups. So there'd be 3 of us, probably similar position, similar size. So we're lifting or the same program. We'd have an S&C coach for us 3 who help push us. And then we'd have a coach to tell us what we're doing today. Yeah. So everything is kind of organized for you. Of course, you're still pushing yourself and all that, but you're motivated by the people around you. You have a bit of a chat. Whereas now you go to the gym on your own and you work that around your lifestyle or work, whatever it be. And it's very, very different. It's a very different.
So what are we likely to see you in the gym doing now? Are you in the hot yoga classes doing different stuff, or are you still out there shifting the tin?
I like a bit of weights. I try and run. Again, it's more just keeping the corporate world away. I do a bit of everything. I like a little bit of Pilates. I do like yoga, hot yoga. It's just variety, to be honest. I used to like a lot of CrossFit style stuff. Again, just go somewhere you can do a 45-minute, hour, smash it all out, and you feel amazing. Feel like you've really worked. But where I live, there's not much of that, unfortunately, and my body's a little bit sore.
A little birdie told me as well that we're likely to see you at the leisure centre on the cross trainer.
Yeah, I do. So yeah, my gym now is not, because I've moved out of London, it's a little bit smaller. I get on a cross trainer, do a half an hour there, get my Netflix on, watch something, do some bicep curls, and then I think, you know what, I'm done. That's probably me done for the next 2 days.
Working on the beach muscles, yeah?
Exactly. This summer's gone now, so start planning for next year.
Yeah,
I've got time.
Always got to be ready. What are you watching on the Netflix whilst you're on the cross trainer?
I've just finished Top Boy, so I quite like that. Generally on the CrossFit, I love the American Office.
Oh yeah.
So I like watching something where I don't really have to focus too much, so you can just have on, you've seen it.
Switch off.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what, if you miss it or...
Netflix and chill, right?
Netflix and chill, Netflix and cross trainer. Yeah, maybe it should be a new thing.
If you could be a character in the US office, what would you be?
You know, I love Dwight.
Dwight?
Dwight, yeah.
Why is that?
He's just interesting, isn't he? He's just a brilliant character and stuff. And I think they're all unique and they all have their kind of special traits and stuff like that. And do you watch it?
I don't watch it. I like a little rom-com.
I like a rom-com.
Oh, yeah?
Which one?
You know what? I have to say, I love anything with Cameron Diaz in. I just think she's brilliant.
Yeah, she is.
How about you?
You know what we saw the other day? It's a little bit old now. Is Me Before You.
Oh,
have you watched that?
Yes.
Tearjerker. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you captained the England rugby team.
Mm-hmm.
You're used to life in the back row. You're a fairly big rig. I don't think many people would expect to see you in hot yoga, doing Pilates, on the cross trainer, watching rom-coms. There's a soft side to Chris Robshaw.
You know what? I remember me and a lot of Quinn's guys went to Vegas. We were young 20s, went to Vegas, one of our first trips away together. There must be 6 of us. Obviously, we're having some drinks, but the flight to Vegas is a long way. So you obviously settle down a little bit and stuff like that. And I was watching the film.
bedding, I like to call it. Bed into the flow.
And I was watching Marley and Me.
Oh, yes.
Marley and Me again. I was just weeping at the end.
Oh, no way.
And I remember Daddy Care just looking at me thinking, what the, like, we're going on like a lad's trip and this guy's crying next to me and stuff like that. But look, you look at all rugby guys and they're very different to how they are on the pitch. And I think you have to be, because you have to get yourself in that frame of mind. But then you've got to have your release. You've got to have your escape, whatever it be. It could be going for a walk like we are with a dog, or taking your kids to the park. And you can't always have that mind frame. And it is an aggressive trait. Like, you have to be willing to put your head in someone's knees, and it's a very physical thing. And you need to switch off. I think in any sport, in any walk of life, if you want to continue to do well and stay there for a long time, you need to be able to go up and down.
Yeah.
And that's often, young players struggle with it. And when I was a young player, I struggled as well, because you think I should be training every moment of the day. I should be pushing myself. And yes, don't get me wrong, you do need to do that, but you also need to know how to get away from it.
Yeah.
And I think as you get a bit older, you have families, you have more things going on probably than when you're a youngster, and that's everything. So I think it's key to have that balance. And some people are brilliant. I mean, a lot of the young guys just play PlayStation or FIFA and that helps them. That's great. But find out what it is that works for you and then use it.